your kickoff point of, okay,
Well,
I'm the main guy, and I'm a main guy now.
well, it progressed. Obviously, I went into San
Right.
Antonio. I did a mass gimmick called the Hoods. Um, and it was Tony Torres, who was a worker and a referee for Bill Watts. He had come over because Chavo had set it up that way. And then we were working with a young guy. You might have heard of him. His name was Shawn Michaels. He was 18 years old. Him and Paul Diamond, they were called the American Force. And we were doing the old Twin Devils gimmick where we would switch in and out all the time. And we got
Yeah.
a lot of heat. I mean, we were there. We had a good feud, and you could see the talent developing. When Chavo took the book, the territory was down. At that time, Dallas was the big thing in Texas. World class, Fritz's deal. But we started to move it and make it work.
Hmm.
Working with Bill Watson and the Mid South guys that came in, the Fantastics, Ted DiBiase, all different one man gang. We had all
Yeah.
these people to do the joint show for the Battle of the Alamo, and that kind of really blew it up.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, with the business, I guess when you step on toes, because I always describe it as the mafia, you can't step into somebody else's territory.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, Gary Hart came down while Chavo was in Japan, and everything went sideways. So I had met Wahoo in San Antonio. He had been in it because he had worked that territory before, and he
Hmm.
was booking in Florida. So he told me when I was done there, kid, I got a place for you in Florida. So writing on the wall, I moved there, did a few things there that got a learning lesson, and I went out to the Northwest,
Okay.
working for Don Owens. I had this when I first met Fidel Sierra, who I've known for wow, we've been on the road for 37 years together, and that was the deal. I became the Northwest champion. I became the tag champions. I became the television champion. So I was starting to move forward. And then we
Yeah.
went to the Charlotte territory. And that's when Dusty gave me that big break. I remember
Yeah.
like it was yesterday. We're at TBS Studios, and he calls me into his makeshift office, and he said, "Baby," in the famous words of the Colonel, "I like what I see. I'm about to give you a push, baby, for a national level." And he did. He kept true
Yeah.
to his word. I mean, I got to work with Arn, Tully, Rotundo, Flair, the Midnight Express, in a tag
Hmm.
situation, the Rock and Roll Express, when we were
Hmm.
heels. It was just the timing was there
Hmm.
at the time for myself. I was, up and coming, Latin star, trying to make a name for myself. And I
Hmm.
got to thank all those people that I watched as a kid that helped
Hmm.
me in the journey. So, for me, it's like, I can't explain it. My dad used to take us to Miami Beach, all the kids in the summertime, and we go to everyone's regular town in the Florida territory. I got a chance to bring my dad to that building. I
Yeah.
bought him a ringside ticket, and I happened to be on the cover of the program. But
Oh.
the funny part about it is I'm coming to the ring and I see him like he's signing stuff. So I had kind of convinced him that we were going to go eat this fresh seafood stuff. And after the show, I said, "Hey, Dad, we're going to go eat, but we're not eating seafood. We're having chicken wing and beer is what we're going to eat, like one of the boys, right?" And I
Yeah.
said, "What were you doing? I'm coming to the ring and I see you got your back. It looks like you were signing something." He said, "Well, son, I'm standing there and I know you're coming out because I see the matches on the program." And the guy behind me taps me. He says, "Hey, mister, you want to sit down? You act like your kid's going to wrestle." He goes, "He is." And he goes, "Who's your kid?" He goes, "He's on the cover of the program." "That's your son?" He goes, "Yeah, can I have your autograph?" And he said, "Hey, who am I to deny a guy an autograph?" And I busted out. I said, "Dad, you're too much." But hey, he was my biggest fan.